This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
I was thinking about getting up and running out and then not coming back. Here we are. It's show 52 out of 52 weeks. I was thinking about it. So live as usual. So next week we start our fifth season. So this is 52 out of 52 straight weeks of live shows.
Wow.
129 live shows in a row in that 2-year period. And I say that because when we had a hiccup on our show, I was at Rachel's place and I never counted shows prior to that. And I said, well, we got to start all over again. So that's when I went back and started counting the shows. So I was like, wow, we have a couple streaks going on. We're at 110 million views and counting. If it's Tuesday, obviously we have to start giving Tuesdays for small mom and pop businesses. I can't even get the words out because I got so much stuff to say. And that's important because well, I am in a way because I've been waiting for this show for you and Brendan and James come back and Tosh pops in last minute as usual, so I'm used to it now. But it's one of those things where you look forward to certain shows, even though every show is special. And the reason why every show is special because it's about helping those artists, those inventors, those people who create stuff one at a kind that can't be done. Who Cyndie, that don't have any staff to help them because they do it all by themselves. And then when you have a great cookie company, Golden Gate Cookie Co., Brennan B., it's one of those things where it's Rachel makes cookies for her son every night. His ritual is chocolate cookie and macaroni and cheese every single night.
Wow.
That's what his thing. So with that, let me introduce my host first. All right, so since I said Rachel, Chef Rachel Roberts from Houston, Texas. She's more than that now. She does a lot of things. She sent me photos that she was with the police department today. I thought that was great. I didn't even have time to put them up, but I put them up on social media. So I'm going to talk about that. Howard Wiggins from Brentwood, Tennessee, one of the world's leading interior designers, actor, dancer. Everybody likes him. He never wears the same thing. He's never in the same room. The one and only Howard Wiggins, and art collector. He's an art guy. He loves art. Vocally Tosh, singer, dancer, songwriter, and now she's doing all kinds of things in the social media world, different things that are working for her that can work for you too that she'll talk about. And then we have, James. Let's talk about James, Executive Director, Black Inventors Hall of Fame for films and music, and it's kind of got two different titles when it comes to that, which he will explain because it's evolving. But if you remember, we had him on with the Black Inventors. Big Black Inventors Got Game, all the Black inventors who created stuff in the toy world that you didn't know of. And he's going to talk about why this museum is coming together because it's important. And if we didn't have him on, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't be in the toy world now if we didn't have him on. And that's very, very special. So his name is James Howard, Executive Director, Black Inventors Hall of Fame. And then all the way from San Francisco, because I'm in Georgia, 3,000 miles away. we were supposed to have Brennan on, the Golden Gate Cookie guy, a while ago, but he was coming in from Vietnam. And then he figured out that he's coming in and there's no way he was going to make it because he wouldn't have gotten back to San Francisco in time. So,
Guilty.
So when it comes to that owner, and if you're hosting a party and organizing an event and you want to know how to make really good chocolate chip cookies and other things he has like that, well, it's all about tasting that great chocolate chip cookie. So he's going to tell you about that. And then we have my friend, I like this lady. I've been wanting to have her ass on our live show for 4 years. And every time I want to get her on, something's going on. You know, she's the founder and owner of Custom Creations. She makes one of a kind, handcrafted, handmade, custom made glasses, wine glasses. But she does more than that. She's also been at the Grammys, the Emmys, the Oscars, the CMAs. She's been at all the award shows, either walking it or working it and making creations on glasses for every celebrity
Brian,
that you can remember.
No.
You're hired as my PR guy.
I've been saying this stuff for years, but she's also a singer because she sings in a band, and she's also that inventor and kind of that artist, because the last time we got together was either 2019 or 2020 at the NAMM convention, and I was exhausted.
2020 NAMM, yep.
So my friend Cyndie Wade. So Cyndie, because she's on her phone, and I never know what's happening when people are on their phones. We're going to start with Cyndie first. So Cyndie, tell everybody about what you're doing, because this is the busiest season for you when it comes to everything. She makes those handcrafted glasses for Christmas orientations. She might have one, but she's showing.
This time of year.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. This time of year are my custom ornaments. So I do people's homes and pets.
Oh,
absolutely.
So they light up. So I ship these actually worldwide. I don't know if you can see them because I'm on. With this phone.
You jinxed it, Brian. You jinxed it.
Well, here's the thing with that. Cyndie lives about 20 minutes away from the Canadian border, so she's pretty close. So she could have spotty internet. So that's why, but that's why she's on her phone. So Cyndie, we caught the last end of that lighted globe. I didn't know those lit up.
It's possible.
I don't have one. Talk about how you started this. And why it's
they're
important.
new this year. Actually, they're new the Firefly one.
where do we get? Where can we buy them, Cyndie?
She's gonna keep reading. She's gonna do a Howard tonight. Oh, so that's beautiful.
Actually,
Cyndie, show that one again. Show that one again.
You know, I feel bad if the service isn't working well, because I am the Wi-Fi. That's probably spotty. I'm in the North Country of New York. Everything I do is custom, hand painted. I ship worldwide, and the reason I started my business was one Christmas I couldn't find gifts for my family, and I got frustrated, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to make gifts this year, and I did, and I posted a few on social media, and it just took off, and that was 12 years ago.
Wow!
Oh, congratulations!
My full-time, that and music, or my full-time career.
You're very talented. Well, I could never do that. My kids would be like, "What is
right
that?"
brained person.
Cyndie, talk about what it's like to go, because of your clients, those celebrities who became friends who started inviting you to award shows. Talk about what that's like, because not a lot of people get to do that.
You know, it was pretty interesting what happened. I had just launched my business. Christmas ended, and I said, well, I'm going to try some new things. And that's when I started paying the people on the glassware. And I got an order from Taylor Swift. Wow. And it was out of the blue. And the next thing you know, I got invited down to the Country Music Awards. And she never took credit, and we never found out for sure, but it was the next week. And then someone saw me at the CMAs, and then I got invited to the Emmys and the Oscars, and I was able to be on the red carpet of the Oscars. It's been an incredible experience.
And Stephanie Frederick says hi. I talked to Steph the other day.
Did you? I love Steph.
So she knew you were coming on. So, all right, Cyndie, we're going to come back to you, and we're going to keep testing your sound, because you can see how Howard's spinning around maybe. So you'll see these glasses? Those are gorgeous.
Wow.
I didn't know they lit
the
up.
Ornaments. Yep, that's what I'm painting right now, 12 hours a day for Christmas orders.
Oh, my goodness.
Hours for one?
No, all day long, painting ornaments.
Oh, I was thinking, wow.
I do people's weddings, I do homes, I do their pets.
Yeah. Oh my God, the detail is gorgeous.
I love that.
Wow.
That was the last time we saw each other at the NAMM convention in January 2020.
Those are so fun. Those glasses are so fun.
Thank you. You see those girls have a little extra something too. You see them?
Oh, yeah.
So
It's so perfect for Brian. Like you
it-
got him perfectly.
It
so
was fun
the
paying
thing
Brian.
the thing about that is she won't mention a lot of the celebrities, but I will because they become her friends. And I think it's great because, she gets so busy and we probably talk about 7-8 times a year because she's that busy, but I don't purposely want to call her during Christmas because I know how busy she can be and all those orders because she doesn't have help. She does it all. That's the
It's
difference.
me. Yeah, I don't trust it. It's my work. I sign each piece, so it's all
Oh,
me.
wow.
So Brandon, let's talk about this because I'm going up to San Francisco right after, and Cyndie will like this. So I'm most likely gonna be doing the Grateful Dead January 31st at Music Cares in Los Angeles. The Grateful
Great.
Dead are the 3 surviving members are going to be the Music Care Persons of the Year. So I got the invite today. They keep
Wow.
moving the dates around, so I'm going up either mid or late January up to see you, and that's when I'll be up in Northern California. Talk about Golden Gate Cookie Co., why it's important, why Montague stopped in, and he dies over your cookies. Why is it?
Yeah, great. Well, thank you again for having me on this show. I'm very excited to meet everybody. And honestly, I can't wait to, Cyndie, introduce you to a bunch of people I know who are probably going to put in orders.
I love it. And I'll be getting
Yeah.
a lot of cookies.
Yes, please. Yeah, so my name is Brennan. I'm originally from the Sacramento area. I'm actually a 3rd-generation baker. So my grandma was a baker, my mom is a baker, my brother's a baker, and my sister's a baker. So one thing I always say during my workshop is Thanksgiving is really awesome at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year for Thanksgiving, actually, we had a pumpkin cheesecake bake-off where we all baked our best version of pumpkin cheesecake and just sat around like talking smack about everyone else's. Yeah, it was super fun. So when I graduated from college in 2015, I moved to Shanghai, where I lived for about 5 years. And in that time, I worked mainly in education as an ESL teacher. But when I moved back to the United States, I got a job as a college counselor at a low-income high school in Oakland, California. I worked there for about 2 years, but unfortunately, in June of 2023, I got laid off from that job. And when I got laid off, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, you know what? I'm turning 30 this year. I never wanted to be a teacher, to be honest, but being an American living abroad is just the easiest job to get. And I wanted to try something new. So I decided to open my own business. To be honest, at the beginning of the summer, I did not know what I wanted my business to be at all. So I slept in every day. I went to Golden Gate Park and the beach and enjoyed my time. And in August of last year, I was in Mexico City on a trip with my siblings. And one thing that I do when I travel, especially internationally, is take a cooking class of the local cuisine. I very strongly believe in the power of food to connect people in a way that nothing else really can. And so we were taking a churro making class in Mexico City. Top notch, by the way. Yeah, it was incredible. And while we were taking that workshop, I just had my light bulb moment of, this is what I should be doing in San Francisco. I've always wanted to kind of work in tourism or something tourism adjacent. It was very similar to my teaching background, but just centered around baking. So I came back to San Francisco and I got the class together and I started giving the workshop full time in September of last year. And so I last month just celebrated my 1-year anniversary, which I was very excited about.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And so far I've had over 500 people come to my workshop, which has been incredible. Originally, I thought it was going to be mainly, tourists in San Francisco who were going to be taking my workshop, but actually it's turned out to be mainly locals who are on a date or on a birthday party or just looking for something fun to do in the neighborhood, which has been really great and super fun to see. At the beginning, I didn't think I was going to sell cookies that I made, just to be completely honest. But after so many people took my workshop, they're like, when are you going to sell these? When are you going to sell these? When can I buy them? And so finally, I looked into what permitting I needed to do with San Francisco County in the state of California, and then started selling cookies. So now I've been working at a bunch of different farmers markets, growing my customer base and things like that, on top of still teaching the chocolate chip cookie baking workshop.
See,
now I want
that's
cookies.
Wonderful. Well, he actually sent some to me, and see, I'm not a chocolate cookie. I don't like chocolate. But I did like his. But before I tasted it, Brittany, I told you, I gave it to the kids and I tested them. because if I'm going to go down, I want the kids to go down first. They said I would tease them. They had to be good before I gave them, and they would come in and said, "Brian, can I have a chocolate cookie?" Because I would leave it there, and I go, "Have you been good?" It goes, "Yes." I go, "Do you know where these came from?" "No." Golden Gate Cookie Co. So I made them repeat it, and they go, "Can I have a Golden Gate Cookie Co.?" And they have. That's how they started enjoying it.
We need to go back though, Brian, because how do you not like chocolate? I mean, that just kind of.
I'm an apple pie. Chocolate. That's me. Well, I bet you never met a black guy who's white either, right? So that's me also. So with that, James Howard, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this inventors, because this museum is going to be very, very important. And unmute. Hey, James, unmute yourself. There you go.
Well, yes, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. First of all, thank you, Brian, for having me back on the show. It's nice to see Rachel again and Howard. And Cyndie, all I can say about what you just showed me is that Sabrina Carpenter will be calling you soon.
That's wonderful.
Do what you did for Taylor, for sure. And Brennan, you know, I love to actually take cooking classes when I travel parts of the country as well. But I take most of my cooking classes on the water when I cruise. Ooh. And I throw in a galley tour.
Ooh,
so
nice.
I too have an appreciation for taking cooking classes.
That sounds nice.
Yes, indeed.
Gonna hang out with you.
Yeah, try it if you haven't done it.
Exactly.
It's pretty neat.
I'll be looking forward to my invite.
Yeah.
We'll go to a Sabrina Carpenter. We'll go to a Sabrina Carpenter concert together.
There we go.
She's really, really hot. I was in Tampa just a couple of weeks ago at an invention conference of all things. I happened to be on the board for the Florida's Inventors Hall of Fame, and we were having our induction ceremony. And the particular hotel was housing like 3,000 moms and daughters who was attending the concert. And the concert was just a half a block up the way there in Amelia Sports Stadium. And when they came out, literally when they came out, it was the mob just crowding out the streets. And then they came into the hotel lobby and crowded out the hotel lobby for like the entire night. It's a great experience. I got to confess something. Up until that moment, I had never heard of Sabrina Carpenter. Now I can't stop talking about her. Anyway. But Brian, listen, I appreciate what you allow me to do, and that is to inform the public about an important mission, a mission that I have been set on for the last 4 years, and that is to build the first museum in the country dedicated exclusively to immortalizing the pioneering genius of African-American inventors. Now, why is that important? One, because our story, just in that space alone, has been oppressed, has been sequestered, and has been held back for over 400 years, right? But sequestered no more. We are too large as a people, right? And we are too diverse in our range for us to be pretty much summed up as just entertainers and sports figures. And when the National Museum in Washington opened up over 16 years ago, that was a part of a message apparently that they bought into, because they chose to take 600,000 square feet of space and not devote a single inch of it to telling the story, the remarkable story of African-American inventors. So what we're going to do in the town of West Orange, New Jersey, we're going to build 120,000 square foot complex, right? And tell the story of countless numbers of African-American inventors over an arc of 400 years.
Wow.
And it's going, we tomorrow, in fact, Brian, I have a meeting with the town officials. We just wrapped up due diligence last week, and now we're beginning our dance with the town, which I would envision numerous meetings, up to a dozen perhaps, between now and January, and we hope to break ground in February. So,
Amazing.
Now, when you think of, we've had Dr. Lonnie Anderson on Dr. Lonnie Johnson on the Super Soda water gun. That's because we had Black inventors who got game, who invented toys that people didn't know of. That Super Soda water gun has made over $1 billion, and he created that. So, but he
try that.
Really?
Try that.
That's true. And he never got credit for it until recently.
I had one of those.
Yeah. So he goes in.
I think we all did. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And Lonnie's a good friend of mine, and I tell his story all the time. As you know, Brian, in the Black Inventors Got Game film, The Gathering, I tell Lonnie's story. And Lonnie is one of my muses. He's the one who has really encouraged me to reach back above and beyond just the living legends, because Lonnie is a living legend. And we have other living legends. For instance, Dr. Gladys West. You would not have the capacity to hop on your phone and look up GPS or go in your car and tune in GPS without the contributions of Dr. Gladys West, right? Dr. Shirley Jackson, Dr. Miriam Croak. You would not even have the capacity to be doing these Zoom calls right now without her contributions, right? Dr. Shirley Jackson, you would not have the capacity to operate a fax machine. Now, I know fax machines are somewhat obsolete, but she has contributed to so many more areas of technology. So we have a lot of living legends, and I want to capture those living legends, but at the same time, go all the way back 400 years, where in 1721, Onesimus, an enslaved man, saved the town of Boston from the ravages of smallpox by introducing an inoculation procedure, right, that proved 98% effective. He, in my honest opinion, is the father of modern day vaccines, but yet he did not get his credit until 300 years later. And the town of Boston just recently anointed him as one of the top most popular citizens of all time. So these are the stories we want to unearth, and this is why it's so important to build this museum. And we adopt this mantra, everyone, that says, when you build public spaces, it matters. Because as you can imagine, I get the question all the time, why do you have to have a museum? Why can't you just go virtual? Well, we do have a virtual based space, right? We have a metaverse presence through this. Oh, Brian, I just forgot another handle that I need to include on there. And that is STEM City Chicago. On STEM City Chicago, you're able to go into that metaverse space and you're able to take a tour of some of our museum features, some of our exhibitions, some of our exhibits, some of the inventors that we're highlighting, and so forth and so forth. So we're going to cover all our bases. Metaverse, we're going to have virtual reality, we're going to have augmented reality, as well as physical space, which is doubly important in the sense that we don't want to just tell a story, but we want to encourage youth up to date.
That
so
tangible item right in front of you, that history right in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, what is that?
The tangible item right in front of you, the history right in front of you, rather than virtually, really has an impact.
It can, Cyndie. Thank you so much for recognizing that. And so I got a very powerful board. I have two boards, a museum planning board, as well as an executive board that I answer to. And I have recently partnered with Terrence Howard, the actor, and he is our spokesperson right now, and will continue to be our spokesperson as we head towards a major fundraising gala, which will debut on April 30th of next year. Now, Brian, ask me why April 30th of next year.
Brian, why April 30th next year?
All right, here. Because that is the date that should have debuted Charles Frederick Page's airship. Charles Frederick Page is a 19th century enslaved man who raised 13 kids, was self-taught, and he built
the first
airship.
millionaire.
You got it. He built an airship and received the patent on that airship 42 days before the Wright brothers received their patent on Kitty Hawk, right? And yet, when he shipped off his airship to St. Louis at the Louisiana World's Fair, it disappeared. It never got there. So we're doing a fundraising campaign, and the fundraiser is going to be on April 30th, the day in which the Louisiana World's Fair was supposed to open and debut his product, right? The advanced billing was actually highlighting the fact that a black man was going to be showcasing a freaking aviation device. And yet, it never got there. It never absolutely got there. So he turned his back on inventing after that. He continued to do great things for his community, but he never invented again. So what are we going to do? We're building a full-size replica.
Yeah.
Charles Frederick Page's airship. It's being built in London. And then when it gets shipped over here, we're going to apply immersive technology so that you can experience flying the airship, so that you can experience standing on top of the large balloon, so that you can experience this and that and all kinds of immersive interactive experiences. So that's that in a nutshell is what we're doing. And all told, by the time we're done, I'm going to just hold something up to the screen here. By the time we're done, we're going to be telling all of these stories and more. Oh, there you are. Good. That's over 70. That's over 70 inventors over 3 different eras. The early era of invention, the golden era of invention, and the modern era of invention. And so there you go. They're all there.
So with that, Totally Tosh, tell them who you are, where you're coming from.
Did you just call me Totally Tosh?
I did.
That's a new one. I like that handle. So first of all, I just want to say, James, thank you for taking that initiative of you like being the one to like do this, because that's important, and you know it takes a lot for that to happen. So thank you for contributing to something that's going to be like super important for everybody to know about you know the history of all these inventors. So I'm happy that I'm on this, and that I know and that I'm aware that this is going to happen. So I definitely want to take a trip there and be part of that. Thank you. So everybody here, I'm Nathasha, vocally Tosh, or totally Tosh, as Brian says. I live in Miami. But I'm Venezuelan, but I was raised in Miami, so I guess I'm a Miamian at this point. And I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been writing songs for about 4 years already, my own original kind of experimenting with Urbano Latino sounds, but also getting into like Brazilian funk, a little bit of dembo, a lot of different rhythms in the Latin genre. And I actually have a song that's coming out this Thursday, so that's something very exciting for me. It's a beautiful collaboration that I'm doing with an artist from Orlando. We decided we wanted to have a powerful message, because you know there are a lot of people that are that's the art of the song. And our message, we feel like there's a lot of people that get stuck with, you know, in relationships or in friendships where they don't get to be themselves, and they hear people talking about like bring them down and telling them that they're not good enough. So we wanted to write a powerful message that you are good enough, and that you being yourself is the best thing that you could possibly do. So we are releasing that this Thursday. I do have, there's go Rebel, put a little teaser trailer.
These are awesome.
Yes.
Sneak peek. We the quality of the video is very fun. We wanted to have like a very funky video and lots of angles. We used a mannequin. That was a whole story with that mannequin. I was driving all over Miami. And it honestly, I'm excited for everybody to see that project. It's been a project that we've been building it for like 9 months, because you know life happens and a lot of things were not coming together, and it took a long time, but now we are here. And I'm excited. I've been doing music for a while, but like 4 years doing my own music, and it's been beautiful. It's the best decision I have ever done for myself. I know I let a lot of people tell me that I was never going to make it and that I should never try music, but you know what? Like, I don't care at this point. Like, it makes me happy and I feel good about it. So, and a lot of people really, you know, they give me that emotion and that trust and that, you know, you got this, Nathasha, you got this. So
Period.
and I also, yes, this year has been like a very rough year, like economy wise for me. Like, I'm a bartender, that's what I do on the side, and you know, I tried the corporate world and it just wasn't for me. And I've always been a person that likes to interact with people, so you know, being a bartender, I get to talk to a lot of people. And I guess this year for like restaurant industry has been like really bad because I was not making a lot of money. I was struggling a lot, and I'm always super active on social media. So I wanted to like, how can I make money on social media, or how can I monetize my brand or make my brand, you know, be more exposed on social media? So I decided to do digital marketing. I've been learning how to grow my brand, create my brand, help other people that are starting off, you know, create their brands and grow their brands as well. And crazy enough, that has led me to do collaborations with other artists in other countries, where they're paying me to like do fun reels about their products. And definitely has upped my social media presence. So I've been focusing a lot on that because I'm like, if I can do music and social media and not have to bartend ever again in my life, I'm the happiest person ever. And it's like Cyndie said, she's doing music and, you know, her wine glasses and everything. So it's like, I can do that, you know, and I want to inspire other people to step out of that comfort zone and like really dig into that because it is possible. And that's a little gist of me.
So,
Congratulations.
So Cyndie, piggyback on that, because you know what it's like to perform during summer months and trying to balance all of that stuff. It's not easy, is it? Because you are that singer too. Cyndie, did we lose you? Oh, we might have. Howard.
Yes, sir.
Tell them who you are. And then we'll
I'm
see
Howard
if we can
Wiggins, one of the world's 35 leading interior designers in Andrew Martin Volume 3. I have a new design style called Stacked and Layered. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see examples of that. I'm in a movie where I play a cop, and it's called Without Warning. That's coming out pretty soon. I've got one more scene to shoot on that. I'm son of Little Roy Wiggins, play steel guitar for Eddie Arnold, and all my Christmas dinners were with Eddie Arnold and Minnie Pearl. That's pretty much me. I dance, I live life. I'm 71 years old, and I'm still modeling, and I'm still active, and I'm enjoying it. So
I love that.
Chef Rachel Roberts, tell them everything you did today. Go ahead.
Right now, okay, there it goes. Quickly, right? Because I keep
spinning.
Right. So my name is Rachel Roberts, and I have a little morning show called Coffee Talk, and it's a lot of fun. And just talk about bullshit in the mornings, and it's grown because when and a lot of people have watched it, and so now every now and then you'll see me on with Fox News, and I play around with and I'm getting asked to do bigger things like be in a movie coming up and, all sorts of wild things. So it's funny how life will take you in different directions. But I do a little modeling for, some different companies and promoting their brands and commercials and, just in coffee talk and podcasts. Lots of podcasts.
Cyndie, I think we got you back. So I wanted you to talk about your singing when you would be singing during the summer months, of how you manage that, to give Tosh any advice that you can think of. Cyndie, did you hear us? She might not be hearing us. Cyndie, can you hear us? And that's the problem being on with cell phones. Brendan, until we can come back, talk about what else is going on. Who you got coming in between now and the end of the year? Because we got you coming back in before December.
That's right. So one thing that I'm introducing to my business now, which is very exciting, is a monthly special. So it's a cookie that I'm only going to be selling that month. And so one part of that is a lot, as you can imagine, of research and development, which means I bake every day. Nice. So right now, what I'm trying to create is I'm trying to create a holiday cookie that's based off of a York peppermint patty. A York peppermint patty was my favorite candy as a child. I just love the combination of mint and chocolate. And so, do you want a sneak peek of what it's going to be?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so also, I'm a total nerd about baking, so feel free to tell me to calm down. It's okay. So it's going to be a chocolate cookie, but on the inside of the chocolate cookie is going to be a full York peppermint patty, and that's going to be covered in the chocolate chip cookie, or the chocolate cookie. And then I'm going to melt some chocolate on top of it, and then dip that melted chocolate cookie into some crushed candy canes. So it's going to be beautiful. Wow. It's going to be soft. It's going to be minty. It's going to be chocolatey. It's going to be the whole holiday season wrapped up into one cookie. And I've on my probably 5th or 6th iteration of it. And I think I finally got it. I made it the other day. I immediately called my husband. I said, I don't care that you're at work right now. You need to answer. I finally perfected the cookie. And he's like, okay. He's not a baker at all. So he's like, all right, congratulations. And I'm like, no, it's way more exciting than that. Right. Yeah.
I love it.
So that's very exciting. I can't wait.
Cyndie, did we get you back? We got your volume back?
I'm here. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yay. It happens. We're a pre-retrograde, like I said.
Or something.
Well, yeah. So, Brandon, congratulations on that, because that's really good. You should have seen everybody's faces except for mine. So that's a good thing. So, Cyndie, talk about this. When you're singing during the summer months and you're balancing the other stuff you're doing, and then you're taking care of your family situations, that's not easy, is it? I wanted you to give advice to Tosh, because you come from the music world also.
Yeah, I started singing professionally when I was 15, which was a couple years ago. And in the summer, we work on a cruise ship. We do 2 shows a day, 5 or 6 days a week. Wow. Saturdays, sometimes we do 3 shows in a day. So it's 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. And just follow your dream. Do what you love what you do. And don't listen to the naysayers. Follow your dreams, because that's what you need to do. People are going to try to put you in a box. Don't let them do that. I own a marketing and PR agency, and I left that to do what I'm doing now. And it's the happiest I've ever been, because I'm a creator and I'm very creative. And it's just really important that you don't allow people to stomp out your dream like that. And there's a lot of people that'll say to you, well, what do you do for your real job? Well, this is like my successful real job. Oh, you're a crafter. No, I'm not a crafter. I'm an artist. Yeah. A lot of people will do that. And it took me several years to get to the point that I could say, no, this isn't like a silly craft project. This is like internationally artwork that I'm delivering to people all over the world. But for some reason, when you're in the arts, people don't seem to get it. They don't respect it as much as if you have a 9-to-5 title career job, Yeah,
and I feel like that's not it anymore. At least for me, I wish I would have done this earlier in my life, but I guess there's a time for everything, and this is my time to do that. Right. And that's why I've always been very on top of it. I'm going to continue until I crash into a wall. Nobody's going to stop me, and I feel like it's about consistency and always showing up every day, working your craft at least 2 to 4 hours a day, so that you feel that you're working hard at this. And
this is your job. This is you. This is your time. Yeah. And everything you've done up until now is to prepare you for this.
Yes.
So we've all learned little things across our path of our life to prepare us for where we are now. So
it's a little interesting to me. It's interesting to me to hear you all say this because I've found it very interesting owning my own business and being the only employee of my business that I make my own schedule. And so therefore things like we're taught we need to wake up early to be productive. If I force myself to wake up at 5:30, I'm tired all day long. But if I actually sleep in every day, and really I'm 31, like sleeping in is 7:45 or 8 o'clock.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like, but I sleep until my body wakes up, and then I'm like, oh, I feel so well rested, and I can start my workday at my full capacity. So it's like, it's been so nice to unlearn a lot of these like corporate America things that we've been taught that to be successful, you need to do this. Actually, no, I don't. My style is different from that, and guess what? That's okay. It's okay that my
It's
style is
hard.
different
It's
than
hard
that.
to learn that though.
For sure.
It's really hard.
It has taken me a while for sure. But also like, I don't know if you all can agree with this, but like creating your own schedule is the best thing ever. If I want to take a nap at 2 o'clock, I can take a nap at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I
says
get
the
to paint
cookie
my
guy.
jammies all day. I get to wake up and paint my jammies with my cat.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Hey James, I just gotta ask you this for people that don't know. Every time I would stop at a stoplight, I think of Garrett Morgan. So Garrett Morgan, one of the black inventors. He also did the gas mask, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Talk about that person, because if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have traffic lights, right?
No, you wouldn't. Not the three-way traffic signal. You wouldn't have that. And interesting enough that you would pick Garrett Morgan to discuss. I just recently had lunch with his granddaughter just last week. Okay.
wow.
And she's a resident of West Orange, New Jersey. And she will be giving to the museum many of his prized artifacts. Okay.
Wow.
And interestingly enough, one of his most cherished artifacts happens to be the Medal of Valor that he won, that he was actually anointed by the President of the United States. He was given a Medal of Valor for saving those people in the cave when he was led to do to design and invent the gas mask. He and his brother rushed into that cave and saved people. So Garrett Morgan was given a Medal of Valor, and that Medal of Valor will be in the Black Inventors Hall of Fame Museum, along with many of his other artifacts. But I'll tell you something also very interesting about Garrett Morgan is that in addition to being a prolific inventor, he also was very successful in the cosmetology / hair care industry, right? And he developed a line of hair creams and many things, and was very, very successful with that. So,
Can you tell us about your fundraiser a little bit? I'd like to hear about your fundraiser.
No, I appreciate that. The gala, we're targeting $10 million for the gala, although we might just hike that up. But we initially we're targeting 10 million, and this title is called Taking Flight, hence the Charles Frederick Page story. So we are wrapping the entire storyline around Charles Frederick Page. We're working with his grandson. We're working with his cousin, his first or second cousin, who happens to be 96 years old. Right? So we're working with Charles Frederick Page's family to help curate that story and direct it towards the fundraiser. So everything about the fundraiser will focus on highlighting that particular story, and it's going to be, the location will be at the site of the museum. So we're going to actually
like a silent auction.
Yeah, it's.
I'd like to donate to that.
No, I appreciate that. You can go to our website, and it will be able to take you directly to a donors page where you can make that contribution to the organization, and just make a note in your memo for the Taking Flight campaign.
Okay.
And then we will certainly earmark it for that. And like I say, we're adopting Terrence Howard as our spokesperson. And he just recently, I don't know if you've had a chance to go, if you go to YouTube and put in Terrence Howard Black Inventors Hall of Fame, you'll see 2 press releases that he has done regarding the museum. And so it's going to be an exciting time. Thank you so much for asking me to speak more intently on that. We're really excited about the opportunity to bring his story to light, and so many others. Every day, I can challenge you on this. Every single day, literally, you can wake up and learn something new about a African American inventor for the first time, for the very first time. And I have already curated over 100 stories, and I've already bought an additional notebook to start curating hundreds more. That is just how steep and how deep our investment in this country has been all of these years. And this is why it's so important to build this building. And did I say that it's also going to have a STEM learning center at the very top?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to have a STEM learning center that's going to focus on the incubation lab. So entrepreneurs like Brennan can come in and really, put their hand to craft on what they're passionate about. We're going to have a film studio so that Black Inventors Hall of Fame films will have an existence. We're going to have over 10,000 square feet of space dedicated to a research library, just dedicated to the science of STEM. And I'm going to focus on STEMpreneurs of color. Okay. And lastly, we're going to have STEM classes. So kids will be able to come from around the region, around the country, and come and take STEM classes. So, it's just going to be an exciting time.
And we got a couple minutes. Oh, go ahead, Brett. Go ahead.
Just one thing I wanted to say is my teacher brain is popping off right now, James, because I remember last school year, New Jersey had, if I'm not mistaken, about 25 high schools or a little bit more that were like doing the test run of the AP African American history curriculum. And I was just wondering, like, there's so many opportunities there of students who would, I'm sure, love to come to your museum and be a part of what you're creating. That would be, especially working with young people is so incredible. I just see a lot of potential there for success for sure.
Thank you. Well, we will certainly keep our radar open for them as well. They'll be welcome.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this one. Hey, Howard, hold on. Let's take a. Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Howard. Go ahead.
Brian, are you the first Black podcast host?
Brian, I think he's asking you that.
I don't know.
You might be in the museum. Because with all the millions of viewers.
Yes, indeed. We will certainly take that under advisement.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm the first guy in the world to beat Joe Rogan by 100 million views. I can tell you that. So,
there you go.
So I'll go into the entrepreneur's wing, right, James?
There you are. But Brian, we're going to have a special room just for the Black toy and game inventors. And David Bonner is actually curating that. So maybe somewhere in the future you can have us both come online and he can tell you about how that is going,
And that will work. So even though you guys aren't Black, you're going to be part of this. All of it. Oh yeah, we got to show this movie really quickly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
She was just an explosion of creativity.
I'm not going to be discovered artistically until after I'm gone. My name is Allie Willis. I have filmed my life since 1978. I've always known that my final art piece would be someone putting together the trail I've left behind. This is one of the greatest spaces in the house.
Allie was a genius.
She sold over 60 million records.
She's damn near written half my memory.
Yeah. I'm the world's best kept secret.
Do you remember?
That just set the tone for that show and for a generation.
Allie drew all these incredibly creative people to her. Parties were art to her.
You have to meet this woman. She has bowling balls sunk in her front lawn.
She was an artist,
art director, set designer.
She had an early presence on the internet.
Art, music, and technology. Every breath was a creative idea.
I always knew that in the end, I wouldn't let myself down and destroy everything.
A lot of Allie stayed hidden.
She was very lonely.
The world she was presenting was against what she really experienced.
It's a constant struggle to maintain belief in yourself.
I don't think people realize how she touched their lives.
She always wanted people to know their own brilliance and creativity.
Allie's pushing you to be your best and to see the world differently.
Allie is orchestrating all of this from above.
And obviously we are out of time, but I had to show that movie because it's a very, very good movie. She wrote for Earth, Wind, and Fire when they were hot. Friends theme, you name it, Pee Wee Herman, all those people, you would never know these people. And again, we're one of the few outlets in the world that debut stuff like this because no one has seen these films, but it's an excellent film. So I don't even have, well, I got times. Rachel Roberts, give you social media links real quick. Go for it.
Rachel Ann Roberts on Facebook and Rachel Roberts Recipes on Instagram.
Howard Wiggins.
Howard Wiggins Facebook, and of course, movies review and more.
Vocally Tosh. Totally Tosh.
Vocally Tosh on all social media platforms, and make sure to pay attention on Thursday. Vete will be out at midnight on all streaming platforms.
Brennan.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Golden Gate Cookie Co. or my website, goldengatecookieco.com. Can't wait to see you all there.
James Howard.
All right, you can find me on Instagram at instagram.com, Byhoff Museum. My website is www.byhoff.org, and on Facebook at facebook.com, Black Inventors Hall of Fame.
And Cyndie Wade, you get the last word. Social media links for everybody. Go ahead. There you go.
Okay. You can find me on Custom Creations by Cyndie Wade, cindywade.com, Cyndie Wade on Pinterest, and on Instagram, and on Twitter. Well, X. It's so great seeing all of you. We should all cross market.
We will.
I would love to work with all of you.
I got to say this to everybody. Thank you for everybody coming on because it's never easy to get anybody to everybody. And Joslyn couldn't even make it in. She was in the audio, and you got to be on. So I guys say this. Have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. We will see you next week.